Well, there you are. Again, Charlie Greer Podcast. I do this every day today. So, Delphi murders. The prosecutor needs money. Yeah, he probably does. Anyway, before we do this, please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel, the information is in the description for Cash App. My handle is Charlie Greer Podcast. And for Zelle, it's my email. It's all in the description. Let's do this. So, prosecutor needs money in the Delphi murders. Oh, and I want to give a shout out to R&M. I watched a video, R&M. It was a city council meeting, so I want to show them some love. I didn't do this research on my own. Again, I'm a parrot. I parrot what I saw that. So and pray for Abby and Libby, their family, law enforcement, the prosecutor, everybody. Spread the lovings. It's a dark subject. So, prosecutor needs money. I suggest you go watch this R&M video, and it's a city council meeting. And the prosecutor, McClellan, he's needing money because he's so busy at the task force and this and that, and man, he's telling every tale. He's a narcissist for sure, man. He looks like a sleazy car salesman. And I know, again, I'm not a prosecutor. I'm not, I know it's tough, but I'm in my 50s. I lived in LA for 24 years, was around serious people, streets, this, that, and the other thing. You can read through, you can, your spidey senses, and they pop off with him every time since I've been following this. Something about that dude. I don't know what it is. Just a gut feeling. So what he's doing, if you break this, when you watch this R&M video, what he's actually doing is passing the buck. He's wanting money for a special prosecutor, a full-time secretary, and this, that, and the other thing, because he's at the task force. He don't know if he's going to be. See, that's this. It kind of lines up with what I thought they would. This is probably going to be thrown out of court or inadmissible evidence. He's not a prosecutor. I think he was a defense attorney. This is a big case. You need someone seasoned. You should have had a special prosecutor, like, bam. So this video is from like last week on February the 8th, I think. They should have been doing this months ago. He should have been, if he's begging for money, he should have known this. See, a narcissist won't. Well, no, see, unless that's the plan. See, I think there's a certain plan where get a fall guy, arrest him. It gets thrown into court, then he can go, well, we know who did it, but see, there's that, and then they seal everything up. So we never know what will or happened. That's just a scenario. That's just my, assumption, personal opinion, speculation. If you want to cover some stuff up, like, that's what you do. You play dumb. You wait till the last, dang, we need money. Yeah, of course you needed money. You need a special prosecutor. Were you just asking last week? Like, that is so fishy. And then he's saying terms. He's repeating things over and over. He says, he keeps circling back like 3 times. He's saying, oh, well, I never mentions, see, he has no sympathy or empathy. This seems just like another step for him to take to get to where he doesn't mention like the girls or the family. He doesn't, again, you would start out by going, hey, let's say a prayer or whatever. No, he says, hey, it's me. I self me. Look at me. What? And just how he's dressed. I mean, again, people want to look nice, but you see the other city council people, and then he's in there looking like, he looks like a street mafioso dude. He looks like an Italian kind of thing. And just his behavior and what he's saying. I think he says, again, he is, something's up. Someone needs to do a video of like facial recognition or speech therapist, whatever, and figure out what he's, it seems like he's trying to hide something, or he's setting something up for, again, to do certain things. You act dumb. It's like, dang, he should have known this. If he's so good, did he really think he's like, well, I can just take this off? Come on, man. You're up against 2 seasoned attorneys, Richard Allen's attorneys. The one attorney is known for getting his stuff thrown out of court, bullets even. Again, watch that R&M video. I just watched it today. I wasn't even going to do a Delphi video today. And yesterday was the 6th anniversary. I'm trying not to do Delphi. I'm not a true crime podcast. I'm fascinated with this case. Something is afoot. I've been saying that. I mean, I go, again, you need a fall guy. Then you can get it thrown out, case dismissed, whatever it is. And then they'll, hint around like, well, we all know who it was, but we can't say much. Of course, everything's sealed and gagged. It's been 6 years. And it took you 5.5 to find that fool, Richard Allen. Then when was that? When did they arrest him? Like in October, was it? Was it October? November, December, January, February. 4 months later, you're asking for money and a special prosecutor. And I think I saw something where he turned one down. Oh no, we don't want a special. We don't need that. Now he's begging. And then he even said, he's like, look, I'm in between like the office and the task force. So I need someone else because I might not be there because I'm at the task force. See, and I'm doing it. He's setting it up to pass the buck. They need extra money. They've been spending so much money. Again, this is a special kind of case. They weren't prepared. I get all that stuff. I'm not saying everybody, I'm pro law enforcement. Attorney, for one, attorneys, I've had to deal with attorneys since I was probably in my late teens because I was in the arts, and not criminal attorneys, but like I was in bands, and you have to copyright your stuff. You need an attorney. You need someone to solicit this and that. You need contracts looked over. You have to get these attorneys. And man, I've never met one. I've never had, I can't really say much, but I've had attorneys like literally like do some sleazy stuff. I got a settlement once and then he wouldn't give me the money. They have a time period where they're supposed to get the money. And then they found him like in Hawaii or something. And they, because I called hey man, they're like, you didn't get your money. No, they have like, I forgot how many days it is. And then he passed, well, it's not my fault. You do. And he had to like, oh, dang, borrow the money when you're ruining my, yeah. You're probably spending my money where you're at, it wasn't even that much money. And then I heard other things about this attorney. See, attorneys, you can't trust them, man. I'm not saying all of them, but like everyone I've ever had, I can't even count how many attorneys I've had or sat down with them, paid them to look stuff over, this, that, and the other. Not recently. I'm not in the arts. I'm pretty much retired, but they just 300 an hour sometimes. And they just like, well, every letter I send is $150 and And then it was like, well, every email is $150 to email. Well, let's get this over with and I'll go find and then they all know each other. In my settlement, when I got beat up, I got jumped by these dudes and I got a neck and back injury, which is actually flaring up really bad. These last couple of weeks, I've been not too good, but he let it slip that the medical director who was like against my case or whatever, like, no, he's just well, the lawyer that I had, well, they knew each other. They drank together. He slipped that and goes, oh, I shouldn't have said that, huh? I'm like, you know him? You're drinking buddies with a guy who's like, well, see, when we're in court, I knew I was screwed. And I was. I didn't get what I was supposed to do or get. Then I have this injury for the rest of my life that they don't think about that. They don't think about, see, they're narcissists. So watching this again, R&M, it was the prosecutor. It was just loaded. You can check it out. Give them love. Great video. He is doing this again. Isn't there any kind of special interest group or state police or FBI or something? It almost seems like there's another sting where it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. And they're letting these people set their own trap. I'm talking about people behind, the prosecutors in this certain, this just doesn't seem right. It almost seems like they're not even dealing with the Delphi. It's like they didn't even mention they just, again, that's what a narcissist does. They just get up there. He's relishing in this. All the while, technically, he's saying he's incompetent, But no, he's so busy and he's got to do all this. But I need a special prosecutor. Weren't they telling him he needed when he was like, no, 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 no. I don't think he's prosecuted anything, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong. That's assumption, speculation, whatever. But you would, if you had, there'd be video of it or case. They would talk about. No, this guy is just a local. What I have seen though is he's defended people in the past. That just seems shady to me. That just seems like, we got to circle the wagons. He's saying all these things that are telling me that, man, something's not right. Comment below. What do you think? Go watch the RM video. Do you think he's the right man for the case? That's what it boils down to in my mind. At the end of the day, he could be an okay dude, whatever. He's not prepared. He's not seasoned enough to go against these attorneys. That's what they do. They've been on other cases. They studied cases. From what I heard, he likes to go out to bars, and this prosecutor in Delphi, he's not. He's like got his hair slicked back. I mean, granted, I slick my hair back, but he's got like a shark skin suit on. He's got a flash in his iWatch or whatever the fuck it is. Every tell for a narcissist he's doing. While wording it, he's an attorney, so he can word it like, hey, I'm so busy. I got to get this. I won't be there as well because I'm at the task force. Like, what is at the task force? Oh, you mean the task force that didn't find the guy for 5.5 years? Is that what it is? You were so busy. And the mayor, the ex-mayor, is his assistant. Huh? That alone, I mean, people, you got to open your eyes. Like, something's not right. I don't know what it is. These guys just might be narcissists. You're like, yeah, we could do this. You can do it. And then bit off more than they can chew and realize, like, oh, no. This is a big case. The eyes of the world. This case has turned into a big thing. Again, pray for Abby and Libby. Pray for their families. Pray for law enforcement. Pray for these prosecutors, It just seems like they've already admitted they've made mistakes. Doug Carter, we were, switching gears. He might be in the room. Like they've said some shit that's incompetent. Nowhere else I've heard this kind of like insecurity mixed with this kind of braggadocious, like, yeah, man, we made mistakes. Come on. Now he's claiming, this prosecutor, that he's too busy. And he's going to be too busy. So he's asking for money from the city council. How much money is in around that city? I mean, huh? Don't you think that? You would think that there's like these top attorneys that would do this on pro bono, or what do they call it? Just to get the, the credit for solving this case. Just so they, another notch on their belt or whatever. None of that's happening. It's strange. Is it because people think, oh, I'm not going to open that can of worms? I can't say this enough. Go watch that R&M video. Watch him at the city council meeting. He's basically pleading that he needs money. I need a full-time special prosecutor who I think is going to take over the case for him. That's what he's kind of mentioned. A full-time secretary, and then this, that, and the other thing. What about 4 months ago or 3 months ago, whenever it was? I could have swore I watched the video where he was turned away. Comment: did he turn away a special prosecutor? Did he turn away help? Is it just me? Again, I could be wrong. But now, all of a sudden, like at the end of see, that's what you would do if you were. And what kind of evidence do they have against Richard Allen? See, you wouldn't arrest somebody. See, you've got to have like damn near be able to solve the case. I can't put it in like legal mumbo jungle, but usually before they'll arrest somebody, they've got evidence. Maybe they do. But if they don't, I have a feeling this will be dismissed or whatever it is, sealed. Oh, we got to seal this. And then they can point the finger. See, that's what you do. Well, I can't say much, but you know who the guy is. You know what happened. And I did my best, of course. What is he doing at the task force? What's so important? More important than the case, you know? I know they claim they're looking for other people, or they were to get kind of like, well, maybe somebody could have, what's the, um, I'm actually going to go back and rewatch it. I should have. I just watched it once, and I was kind of shocked at how he was acting, how he's just like gloating while literally admitting his inefficiency on this case. And that's what a narcissist does. Yeah, you can't. I don't need any help. I'm the best. On a high-profile case, it just doesn't seem like he realizes the eyes of the world are on him. That's another thing that the narcissist will do. Like, I don't know, I can, whatever I do is the best. There's no way you could look at me. I'm all not taking blame. Just like, oh, this case is any different than any other. What? Is it that Richard Allen worked at the CVS? He wasn't some master criminal mind or whatever. Or was he? I mean, I don't know. Took him 5.5 years to find him. He lived down the road. He came forward right after and said, yeah, I was there. As a matter of fact, I walked the bridge. I was wearing the same clothes as bridge guy. You know what? Huh? Then it's like, oh, well, we filed the paperwork wrong. Dang. I mean, that's what you do. Haven't you ever watched any old mob movies or any corrupt cop movie? That's what they do. They act like they're like, oh, see, play dumb. Oh, well. That seems to what's going on here. Comment below. Do you think he's up to snuff? Has he prosecuted anything? I mean, anything, locally, whatever. Has he went up against some seasoned defense attorneys and a judge? Has he been in court with a judge? You know, I don't know who the judge is. Maybe it's a crony. Who knows? I'm sure this is not going to be televised. I also have a feeling that, like, I don't know, this might not even make it to court. Like, I just have a feeling, I don't know. It might just be me, against assumption, speculation. Watch the R&M video. Again, I can't say that as much. I'm just going to keep repeating that because it's shocking to me, because I've watched other city council meetings or whatever on this case, and that's what kind of opened my eyes about, like, this corruption, about, like, what was it? The police or something, like, bought land without getting the approval from them, and this and that. And they just kind of, oh, it's a fine, and then they had to leave the room and go get the paperwork to see. It's just a shit show. This was a previous video. I suggest watching a lot of those city council meetings on the Delphi. You'll see exactly what's going on. Like, they just don't seem to care. It's like, yeah, well, I mean, if you were really sincere and had empathy, you'd be saying different stuff. You wouldn't be like, I self me. Well, I'm so busy that I need this. I want to, you would say stuff like, the family deserves better and this, that, and the other. And no, we're not getting any of that. It's sad, man. I don't get it. Why, in this case, why all this seems like there's a little bit of corruption. Obviously, there's, I guess, incompetence, you'd call it, because they shifting gears. He might be in the room. The young sketch that he did it. He don't look anything like Richard Allen. Who was this young sketch guy? And who was the older guy? The first sketch that came out, it was this dude looking. Now it's a younger dude. How could it be so? That means they were on to someone first, realized, no, and then they released the second sketch of this young dude. I mean, it's like you couldn't write this in a movie. Nobody believe it. And where are the Indiana State Police when this is going on? Don't they have special prosecutors within the state? Don't the FBI, can't they, I don't know, suggest something? I mean, he's there by himself. He didn't bring along, it doesn't seem like he's brought anybody else there. That's another thing a narcissist would do. Just show up by yourself. And you would, if it was on the up and up, you would bring others to back up what you're saying. How many people are on this task force? What is going on with this task force? Why wasn't the ex-mayor there, who's his right-hand man now? I think he's assistant prosecuting attorney. Has he ever prosecuted anything? The two of these guys combined, have they done anything besides be the mayor and the used cronyism and nepotism and favoritism in this small little town? That's what I think what's going on. It's not some criminal corruption. It's just how things operate in small towns. And it's obvious. And why more people aren't speaking out about this, I don't get it. And I'm not even talking about YouTubers. I'm talking about like attorneys coming forward, like, hey man, something, you know. And if they have, I just haven't watched it. Maybe they have. It seems like there's a sting. Again, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. So you'd have to, once certain things happen and, you know, stuff is filed, then you can go and then round some people up. Perhaps, maybe, but a lot of us will just believe what we're told. Well, he's the prosecutor. Everybody falls for that. It just seems really shady and incompetent. That at the end of in the fourth quarter, he's needing all this stuff, which is going to be a lot of money. A special prosecutor, how much is he going to? A full-time secretary. What about the task force? Can't you guys combine your, you know? I don't get it. Is his office and the task force not in, you know, are they not calibrated or whatever to be? And how long do you need? 5.5 years. Yesterday was like the 6-year anniversary. It's BS. It seems like there's something going on. Like, I don't know what it is. It could just be like dealing with narcissists and people that have never been told no, and favoritism, cronyism, nepotism. You know, my daddy and I, we know each other. I grew. It seems like that's going on. I'm not talking about like a criminal, you know, I just think it's psychology, human behavior. People are like, no, again, narcissism. How could I ever do anything wrong? You know, when you do everything wrong and you're blaming other, you want a special prosecutor now. Well, if you get, when is this case? When does the court case start? When does the trial start? You're just going to bring some in right at the end. He's going to have to catch up a bit. I mean, or will it be another crony that he knows or something? I don't think again, the everything is sealed under the guise of, it'll hurt the case if we release, everything else in every other case, there'll be special circumstances where they seal stuff, then it's, you know, open, but no. And he was the guy that went to court to seal the 911 call on the Florida fires. You can't even get the 911 call from that. And there's nothing on that case. I mean, that is as cold as you can. He'll probably bring that up too. Well, I'm dealing with that too. And, you know, and again, there's a lot on his plate. This is a big case. He doesn't seem like a seasoned prosecutor. He doesn't seem like some, you know, and why haven't, again, pro bono, a lawyer coming in like, look, man, don't pay me anything. I'll get this. I'll do it. Then afterward, if I, you know, solve it or whatever, get it, you know, conviction, then that'll make me look better, and then I'll do better. And that's how they do that. Then he can bring his team in or whatever. Have they tried and went there and talked to him like, oh man, like, no, this is not good. They're not going to. Is it because they're not cooperating with each other? It seems like that's kind of what's going on. It's not coordinated enough, and it's sad. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that, hey, he's awesome. He's going to go in there, and we shall see. We shall see. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. I do this every day. Rant like a madman. If you want to support the channel, information's in the description for Cash App. My handle is Charlie Greer Podcast. And for Zelle, it's my email. It's all in the description. You can check it out. I appreciate it. But I love y'all. Be blessed. Cheers.